The Church of What's Happening Now is presented by Onnit. This show is brought to you by HelloTushy.com. Bidets are back. The Church of What's Happening Now is honored to introduce you to HelloTushy.com. HelloTushy.com makes portable devices that spray your butt completely clean with water. That's right, Uncle Mike. Completely clean with water. I don't know what I did with it before I had it. Go to HelloTushy.com/church right now to get 10% off of your order.
That's hysterical.
Here you go. Another fun-filled fucking afternoon. Uncle Joey, Uncle Mike, the Flying Jew, my main man, Lee Sayat. A lot of love, baby. The Church of What's Happening Now.
What a band.
Thursday, the 19th of January. Get your shit together. Well, this is going to happen to you right there. You're going to take your car, your fucking girlfriend, your fucking credit cards. There you go. Fucking tremendous. Nothing but fucking balls, heart, and soul. Listen to that motherfucker. What's happening, you bad savages? Lee Sayat, Uncle Mike here. You don't need to know nothing about Mike. Mike's my uncle. He's my best man at my wedding. I've been hanging out with Mike since 1990, since I got out of the halfway house. Maybe a year before I got into stand-up comedy. So we're going to go over a few fucking crazy stories tonight.
You said it was like you were around my age when you met Mike. Or roughly.
I'm not sure. So 90, I was 27 years old.
Wow, yeah. You're younger than me.
You were smaller.
Oh, a lot smaller. A lot smaller. I had just gotten out of the joint when I met you.
You were fighting weight.
Oh, I was fighting weight. I was hitting the bag. I was swimming. I was lifting fucking weights. I was running in Boulder, at that time in 1990 was a very, when you looked at it, they had a newspaper, Boulder, and they had a section about activities. Everything was health-relatedly. In those days, there were bars in Boulder that had a thing called Friday Afternoon Club. I had a bar that was one of the hottest Disgusto spots in the country. Like, it made Playboy magazine. You couldn't even fucking drive on Arapahoe Boulevard on Friday from all the people that would come from all over the state, Wyoming, just to hook up. It was FAC, Friday Afternoon Club. And beside that, there were the Pearl Street bars, Pearls, where our friends, the Jewish guy's wife worked, bartended. What was the name of that bar? Potters. And there were those string of bars. Right. But that's it. There was one strip club, the bus stop.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
The bus stop. They were all CU co-eds.
They were all fucking girls from the university. And the funny thing was that the guy died, and he left it to a church. And the church inherited the fucking strip club. And they were thinking of selling it. See, we were doing those bong hits. Stop banging on the fucking table, please, for the love of Christ.
Hey.
So, there was the bus stop, so there wasn't much to fucking do in Boulder in those days.
Besides workout and...
everything was health-related. Moonlight, walk in the mountains. There's fucking snakes and mountain lions up there in Chautauqua. You want to go for a fucking moose walk at night. Everything was, very health-oriented. In Boulder, it was very rough to be fat. When you went to the YMCA in Boulder, there was 3 fat people out of 100 in there. Because the city was so health-oriented.
So why was it tough to be fat? You felt bad, or what was tough about it?
It's the culture.
It was the culture.
It's like, we live in this incredibly. We live in this incredibly beautiful spot. How we all ended up there is who the fuck knows. I don't know how I ended up there. That's another story. And then bumping into him on the street coming down from the halfway house. and that's just, you know, I got that moment like frozen in my head. You know,
There was a Mexican place that their menu was a healthy. There was a few blocks in Boulder in those days. That was the original restaurant was called the Harvest Lee.
Oh yeah, you've spoken of the vegetarian place.
Harvest was.
Yeah.
If I have to sit here with you and go one of my favorite restaurants of all time, it was the Harvest. What made me go in there, Lee? I don't know. The iced tea was the best iced tea. It had caffeine in it to the gills. It was stronger than Greasy Tony's fucking Mountain Dew. When they tried to put a new iced tea, the fucking town signed a petition of Boulder. This is how fucking crazy Boulder was in those days. They got a petition together against the restaurant to bring back the fucking tea, the original tea. Or they were going to boycott the fucking restaurant.
How do you think you always end up in these crazy cities, like North Bergen, Boulder? Like, because you changed your mind, right? Like you weren't going to Boulder.
I was not going to Boulder. I ended up in Boulder.
You ended up in
I ended up in Boulder. The truth of the matter was, I ended up in Boulder because I owed $60,000. You know, I fucking, I was a suspect in, 10 burglaries from 2 years before. I was under investigation. Some guy had turned, and they caught him and his wife stealing from the city of Aspen. So his return was that he'd bring in drug dealers.
Oh no!
So he went to different people, and whenever he come to my house, he'd go, "Let's go talk outside." That's how I knew he had cops close by with the paramolic box. Like
Oh
whatever.
no, motherfucker!
And then one night, what I did was I went to my friend Carl's house, and I left my car there, and I took his car, and I took a ride around the mountain, and I came down my mountain instead of go up it. And I went behind this thing, and there were the fucking cars, and there was the telescope. I saw it right there. And I just fucking went down. It was right around Thanksgiving of '86, maybe. The Giants were in the Super Bowl, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. And I fucking was supposed to, I ordered a turkey. This company was going to kill a turkey. And I was supposed to pick it up on Wednesday, right? And that fucking Tuesday night, it starts snowing, and I'm fiending. Like a fucking savage. I'm fiending. And these days, my paranoia had gotten so bad, Mike, my paranoia had gotten so bad in these days that I couldn't even get high in my own house. So I would have to get a package and go to Lee's and give Lee $200 and say, Lee, take Paula to the movies and don't come back. All right?
Because you thought like they were watching your house.
Oh, yeah. So I would only get high at people's houses. I would go over and pay them to leave their house.
But didn't you think they were following you to that person's house?
No. I would park the car and walk through bushes and fucking camouflage and rifles. By that point, my paranoia was so out of control. It was really, I was ready to check into a hospital. But I wasn't, I was too proud to admit it. The cocaine had taken its fucking toll. It was like 7 hard months, Lee, of 6 nights a week, 8 ball a night, no sleep, taking care of myself, food and working out, but no sleep. Just living on fucking 2 hours a night. And here it is November, and I told the girlfriend, I'm going for a ride. Keep rubbing your hands. Keep rubbing your hands in front of the microphone.
Yeah, is that what happens?
Yeah, you're going to light a fire. I told the girlfriend at the time, who ended up being my wife, I was going to take a ride. I went, I copped fucking 21 grams, and I paid Cato $100 and a little Coke to get the fuck out of his apartment. And I stayed there from Tuesday night to Thanksgiving around 5. I still remember watching like one of the football games and going, when is this Coke going to end? And Cato's knocking on the door. Come on, I gotta fucking cook. My aunt's coming over.
Would he go to your house? What did he do?
I walked into my house, and she was halfway
It's
packed.
insane.
She was halfway packed. She goes, I don't know what to do. People have been calling here. People are looking for you. You owe money. Some guy knocked on the door. The guy from the supermarket called. The turkey's down there waiting for you. You ordered a turkey. You were supposed to, I was going to do this Scarface type dinner. Like, I was out of my mind. Like, dinner for 8. We were going to start partying Wednesday and then eat turkey. Nobody was going to fucking make turkey. And I had gone to, in those days, I used to go to people and go, Mike, you got $3,000? Yeah, I'll give you back $4,400 in 2 days. Give me 3,000. And I had gone to this guy that was in police academy. His mother owned a pizza place in Snowmass Village. His sister and her husband owned a pizza place, and he was a pizza dude. And he was studying to be a cop, but he would always come to me and say, I want to know the other side of the world. So finally, after like 3 years,
that's what it is.
After like him begging me for a year, I got him for 3 G's, and I got somebody else for like 4 G's. And one of my drug deals, I'd gotten a pound of pot that, Mike, if you looked at it, you were like, this weed looks fucking tremendous. It smelled tremendous. You could smoke 80 joints of it, nothing would happen. Not even bad breath. Nothing. This weed was fucking horrendous. I took that $7 grand. I had to pay off 2 or 3 people, like 2,000 or 3,000. I kept like $4 grand. And that Friday, right after Thanksgiving, everybody kept calling me. I said, listen, I'm taking a trip on Tuesday. I'm coming back with 22 ounces. By this time, I knew everybody was watching me. So I told everybody on the phone, you follow me? So even if the people were watching me, they thought I was taking a trip on Tuesday. If we're going to bust him, let's wait till Tuesday. He's going to take a plane, and we'll get him on the way back with the cocaine.
Was anyone ever listening, or were you just doing
Yes, no. The phones were tapped. We were on. In those days, they had to put a tag on your phone. On your phone box, where your phone box was.
There was no cell phones.
There was no cell phones.
Yeah.
So the feds had to put a certain tag, or the state or local cops had to put a certain tag on your thing. So you'd go to whoever had that box, or you would break into it yourself, and there would be the fucking thing. Then they sold these boxes. You could buy these boxes in those days and connect them to your phone and have people call you, and if the thing turned red, the phone was tapped. That fucking thing was always red. You
Where would you
understand
get
me?
that?
Don't worry about where you get this shit, all right? Just listen and learn. So I told everybody on that phone that I was going back to the East Coast to pick up a kilo of the shit that Noriega had processed himself. I had these people salivating.
Why?
Because I wanted them to think I was going to come back on Tuesday and that was going to bust me. That was going to give me 4 or 5 days to get the fuck out of town, knucklehead. They're waiting for me till Tuesday. They're going to stop watching me. I'm going to get in my car and head to fucking Boulder, wherever the fuck we're going to go.
Oh, I got you. So you're not coming back.
Who the fuck do you think you're
I
dealing
was like,
with?
why would you put that on the phone line?
So on a late Friday night, when everybody was fucking nappy noo and thinking we'll just get him on Tuesday, I packed what I had in the car. I got the fucking dog. I got that half pound of weed, and I went to this drug dealer. I owed $30,000 to, and I said, listen, I know you've heard this before. But we got to make this deal. I got this guy. He wants an ounce of coke. I got like $1,000 and a pound of weed. I will be back here in 1 hour with the balance. And if you want to keep the pound, you can keep it for $500. Or I cut her a deal. Her eyes spun in her head. This bag of weed for $500. It's tremendous. She thought she had a deal. I said, don't smoke until I leave. Don't smoke until I leave. I got in that fucking
It's a
car.
dirty business.
This coke was fucking tremendous, this girl got. In fact, she lives here now in Los Angeles, and she's a manager. She's somebody's assistant. Randy Jackson, somebody big's assistant. I owed her like 30 large. I fucking took that fucking ounce of blow. I got in that car. I did 2 bumps, and I got on the road to Boulder because the girl I was with was from Boulder.
And this is where? New
This-
York?
This, no, this is Snowmass Village.
Right, okay.
It took us 2 days to get back to Snowmass Village. It's a 4-hour fucking drive.
Yeah.
From Snowmass to Boulder, it's 4 hours. It took us 2 days. You know why, Lee? We were
Scenery?
we were so paranoid. We would check into hotels,
Do
do a line of coke, and then check out and get out. Oh my God. We checked into 4 hotels one night. That's how fucking paranoid we were.
The sex on coke must just be amazing because every other coke story sounds terrible.
Well, at
to
that
me.
point, the sex was good, but it didn't matter. The cops were looking for me. I had no time for fucking lovey-dovey, all right? It's time for fucking business. There's a time for lovey-dovey, and there's a time for fucking business, all right? Oh, my God. So we just drove back to Boulder. And I got the money I had left over, and I got a little apartment up in North Boulder with another guy that didn't do coke, but he did more coke than the both of us, and his creepy girlfriend. They would lock themselves in the bedroom. I lived in like it was a fucking horror show. It was a fucking horror show. And I couldn't find a job, so I got a job at a car wash as a towel guy. and I was drying off fucking cars.
Oh no.
The puddle car wash. Then I got promoted to fucking like the second towel guy, like the guy who brings the towels out to the other fucking idiots and shit. 52 hours a week for $7 a fucking hour.
That's what you.
Then
That's what you. That's what you're doing.
Then I'm doing no. Then from there I went over to Bill Crouch's body shop. First, okay, Bill Crouch had a body shop out down 57th of the Arapahoe. I forget the guy's name. Good dude, and the dude that was running the place was from New York. First I started as a shagger. 85 hours for fucking guys. I forget what it was. I started working for them. It was 60 hours a week, and I got $800 a month flat.
And what's a shagger do?
You want to tell me what shagger does? I clean bathrooms. I give people rides when they drop their cars off. I give them a ride. So I had to be there at 6 to start giving people a ride. I'd steal the change out of the car, the roaches, the guitar clips. Anything I could steal was gone. I don't know what happened to it. The vacuum cleaner took it. You know me, the fucking vacuum. I don't know nothing. Lee, the hardest 2 or 3 months of my life, because I couldn't quit. I wouldn't let myself quit. The money was garbage, but I had to prove it to myself that I still had it.
That doesn't even sound like it was minimum wage.
It was horrific.
It
was horrific.
It sucks.
I made the best of it because I hustled there. The people liked me. People would say, you know what, wash my car, take a 20 off the top. I got weed there. I bought coke there.
Now,
I had friends there.
Had you already been a car salesman at that point?
No, I didn't do nothing at that point.
See, that's why. And granted, yours sounds like a little harder than being a PA, but or maybe kind of the same, maybe. But I think those kind of jobs are important. I think, like, even for a couple months.
That's the job with. I had a manager that was a fucking dick. His name was Dirk Jordan or Dirk Johnson or something like that. I'll never forget this fucking jerk off, right? He was one of these dudes that was a fucking geek, but they made him a manager and he would pull rank on you and shit like that. He thought he was real fucking cute, so he would pull rank on you. So one day I'm sweeping. Like I did everything shitty. I emptied the oil. I had to take the cars after a collision and vacuum them and then drive them around. I'd get glass stuck in my fucking neck and shit.
Jesus.
And then they'd fucking fix the car. And then after they paint it, I'd have to wash it and put a special thing on it and then dry it really good, then give it back to them. And then I had to help the dude who installed stereos. Lee, I did everything there for $800 a fucking month.
Yeah.
Then they finally promoted me to a detailer. I was a junior detailer, which meant I was on commission, but I was guaranteed $100 a day. And I was making $150, $200 a day, because you know me, dog. They had these cars that came off the boat with Cosmoline on them. All right? When you bought a Honda in those days, Toyota, not a Toyota. What did they have? They had Crouch Honda,
Nissan,
Crouch Subaru, Crouch Mitsubishi. All those cars came with Cosmoline on them.
Is it like a coating?
It's a coating for the ship, so the salt and that type of stuff doesn't get into the car.
Oh, gotcha.
So you got to wash that Cosmoline off with a special chemical.
Some nasty shit.
You got to wash it off first, and then I'd have to take the wrapping off. I'd have to put the floor mats down. I'd have to push a button to connect the stereo. I'd have to do like 4 or 5 things on the checklist. That car took 2 hours. They gave you like $30. If it was a used car, you got like $35, which is 4 hours. But you were involved in a lottery, you know what I'm saying? So you took them as they had them. But I became friends with the people at the Honda place, who was a girl named Lori Roller. Lori ended up marrying our drug dealer, Vince. All right? That's where they met, at the Honda dealer. She was the hot blonde behind the thing. Me, Vince, we all worked together. Did you know that? That's why I met Vince. 1988 at Boulder Auto Body. That's where I met these motherfuckers in 87. He was the head detailer. He knew everything. He was the baddest motherfucker.
No, he's the hardest worker.
He was the baddest motherfucker there. Yeah. So Dirk used to pull rank on us. And one day I'm cleaning out the gutter, the circle thing where all the drain water goes in from washing the cars, and there's a fucking rat that's dead. So I look over to the side, and there's Dirk Jordan's jacket was hanging on the hook.
Oh.
So I took the fucking rat. I dried it with paper towel.
And first of all, I love how you say he pulled rank. He's your manager. He's
my manager, but he was one of those dudes that was a manager, but he's lucky to be breathing. He's a fucking retard. He's lucky to be breathing. One of those managers that you look at and go, really? I will fucking outmath you to death. You understand me? I will outmath you to death. Choose the algebra, bitch.
Like they just got manager because they'd been there
Yeah,
longest.
he was a fucking moron, you know, and then he had this little certain rank to him. So I took that rat and I put it in his pocket, right? I fucking forgot. I went home. I forgot all about it. And the next day he comes in. His car's all banged up and shit. He reached his pocket for cigarettes. And it was the fucking rat. And he almost hit a pole. He hit like a fucking farmer's thing. So boom, one day I go over to fucking Peter Pinto.
I'm sure that's his real name.
That's his name. That's his name. Stop coughing in the fucking microphone. You're worse than I am. God damn it. No, now sniff a little too, right in the fucking microphone. When you got to do anything, move away so these people don't live the experience.
Is that how this works?
Yeah, you got to move away. There you go. There you go. Don't drink water because then they get mad at me. They get mad at me for everything. Every day I got a fucking new note. Stop drinking water. I'm going to sit here for 3 hours and talk and dehydrate. So there was a dude, Peter Pinto, who you knew was a fucking thief.
Married to Mary Mustang.
From day one. And there's this young kid that worked for Peter. No, I'm lying to you guys. Okay. So in those days, it was the Honda store, the Subaru store, and the Mitsubishi store. The Honda store was very white. Everybody wore a nice suit. Subaru, you could tell these guys might have had a felony, or they might have robbed somebody, or they were on the run for killing their wife or something. Okay, I can live with that. But the Mitsubishi store was the fucking Raiders. They were all, it was the two Indians, Little Means. They had 3 salesmen that were over 6'4".
Yeah.
2 big fucking Indians that were over 290, 6'6". And
How did they fit into Mitsubishis?
Those little Jeeps, when they were tipping over, they had them. They were selling them at cost. They were selling them at label over there. What do you call that? Sticker.
Yeah.
Those guys were making fucking $15,000 a month in 1987 selling Mitsubishis, dog. In those days, that place became a tire store. That place, like years later, became a tire store. That little store generated millions in those years of Mitsubishi, those little fucking Jeeps. No. The ones that were tipping over.
No, that's Suzuki.
Suzuki!
It was.
They were selling Suzukis, and we were doing Suzukis. That's the fucking Jeep they were selling.
Oh, wow.
And they had like 4 salesmen.
What's his name? Lee Iacocca. He did that.
They were selling. They had 4 salesmen. Lee, at the Subaru store, there was 7 salesmen. And in those days, in 1987, they were selling 135 cars out of there. Wheeler was the sales manager. Peter Pinto was the fucking the new car manager, and there was no floor manager. And I would go in there every day and break their balls. Hey, what's up? The Suzuki guys, you couldn't say a word because you'd get stabbed at that dealership.
What does Suzuki sell besides those things?
That's it. And they were selling 80 cars a month over there. And the fucking Subaru had 7 salesmen. They were doing like 135 in the Honda store. That store was rocking in those days. It was a new car store. That's before John Elway took over the other fucking store in Westminster and fucked them all up in the ass. Because who didn't want to buy a car from John Elway? Everybody. Okay, so I'm dropping off cars to all 3 dealerships, and I become friends with Peter Pinto. And one day he goes, what are you wasting your time over here for? He invites me over. He goes, you should be selling cars. I said, okay. I'll come over one day. I'll take the day off. He goes, no, you're going to come over for good. I took the day off from the body shop just to see if I would like it. On the first day, I sold 3 cars. I made $1,000. Dog, I had to work 4 weeks to make $800. My first day of selling cars, I made $1,000, and he gave me $100 spiff, cash in hand. That means I could get a half gram of Coke. I could fill up my car, and I could still have $10 for a fucking egg sandwich and a soda for breakfast. You understand me? That's how you did the math in those days. It all started with a $100 bill, okay? A $100 bill got you where you got to go. If you didn't need gas, you took the 20 and used it for beer.
It's a great.
How did you sell 3 cars in the first day?
I have no fucking idea.
Just off of
just talking to people, blah,
personality.
blah, 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 blah. So I start selling cars. I start snorting coke
America's
over
a
there.
great country.
I leave. I go to the Chrysler store. I go back to the Subaru store. I get arrested at the Subaru store. All right. I do time. Blah, 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 blah. Uncle Mike moves to Boulder while I'm doing fucking time. I get out. They put me in the halfway house. But I met Mike on the second tour of the halfway house because I was out already for a while. Then they put me back in because I had a drug test and shit. So they put me back in, and now I had to be on. They threatened me. They said, listen, any violation, you're going to go right back to prison.
Jesus.
So in those days, I didn't even drive. See, before that, I would drive. I would hide my car by the Nissan dealer, and I would walk 2 blocks to the halfway house. That's how you scammed them. You parked the car like 3 blocks away, deep in the bushes, off an off street where nobody expected it. And then you'd fucking go over there and get in your car. Mike Kessler's going deep on the red stars of death.
Why do you hate following rules? Like,
Because I didn't want to walk around. I'm a fucking pedestrian. I got to take a bus and shit like that. I got a car. Why am I going to fucking walk around? I got a car. They didn't let you. But the second time they put me in, I walked everywhere. I was like fucking Jesus. I walked up and down that fucking 28th Street. There was the Nissan dealership. Then across the street, if you walked up a little bit, there was a liquor store.
Yeah.
And there was a place where I paid for a mailbox.
Oh, one of those.
And then if you kept walking up more, then you hit the car wash. And if you kept walking up more, you hit Ledizio and the buildings where I lived at back there. So the second time around, I was going to college. And that's when I met Robert, who was an English-British Jew. And he used to tutor me in something. He used to either tutor me in economics or something. And he sold cars with Mike. Me and Uncle Mike hit it off.
Oh.
And then he took me to his house that night by Chautauqua. And your daughter was young. And that's when we first became friends. That was way before comedy, Mike. Was even on the horizon. I had just had a child.
Yeah, we were like just a couple of model parents. Yeah, we were just.
No, nobody was a model parent in those days. Not you or I.
Nah, I was lucky.
The reason why
I was lucky. No.
But we became friends because of a guy named Rob Dando,
Right.
who I had worked with.
Who's a straight guy.
Right, who was a straight guy, whatever. But Lee, at that time, he was the guy I told you I used to steal his lucky pen.
I'm sorry.
his lucky pen, and you would every day you'd hide it.
I'd hide it, and one day I gave him back the whole roll of fucking pens. So he left Chrysler and went to. They opened up a new Toyota store all the way on the other side of Denver. Some football player. In fact, it was John Elway, and you didn't have to wear shirt and ties. So Mike and this guy Rob Dando decided to go all the way down there to sell cars.
Oh, Jesus.
You forget about all this shit. I'm dropping. That's why you're sitting there all half retarded, because I'm giving you all this, and you're sitting there going, "Jesus, this kid's got a memory like a fucking hawk." I don't forget none of that shit. No.
Unbelievable. Wow. Strange times, man.
That's how you knew Rob Dando, and that's how you connected with me. Now we were all okay. We all knew we did a package from time to time. If you got a package that was a little oversized, you call me. If I got a package that was a little oversized, I call you. Then I got divorced. I went back to New York. I came back, and that's when we connected heavy again. But I wanted to tell people the struggle. You know, when I sit here at night and I talk about comedy and this was the beginning of my comedy career, guys. I moved back to Colorado, and I'm dead serious about comedy. Like, this is it. I'm not fucking around anymore. And there's a contest. And at that time, the Denver Comedy Works wasn't giving me any love. Nobody was giving me love. There was one club that was giving me love on a Sunday night. It was called Club Mix. And it was a black club. And when I'm talking about a black club, they were so black, there wasn't even white chicks allowed in there. Like, this place was blackjack. And the chicks were blacker than black. But on Sunday nights, they did comedy, and Cedric would come in. Any black comic you see that's big today came in. Not like I never met Steve Harvey, but that's where I met Cedric.
Do you mean Bernie Mac?
Bernie Mac would go there.
D.L. Hughes.
D.L. Hughley would go there. It was one of those.
Who's doing the Kings of Comedy?
It was one of those nights that it was a black promoter would bring in, but before they brought up the stars, and they weren't stars in those days, to be honest with you, they brought me and some other local black comics from fucking Denver.
How are you a black comic?
Listen to me, dog.
They
There was
loved it.
only 2 white dudes who were allowed to perform there. And it was me and this cat named Kevin Fitzgerald that was the veterinarian on Animal Planet for many years. He was a Vietnam vet that was also a fucking killer. That was also the Stones security for all those years on 2 tours. This guy was a bad motherfucker. They only liked me and him. All the other white acts that would go there on a Sunday, they'd boo him. It was like $25 in a drink ticket they paid you. Like, I used to be like in heaven because they'd pay me $20 bill to do fucking comedy. So I had to make a tape. I didn't know nothing about nothing. I didn't know nothing about no tape. So I went to Mike and I go, Mike, I gotta fucking make a tape. And he goes, my daughter works with cameras and shit. Why don't you let her tape you? So on a Sunday night, we drove to East Colfax, which in those days was hookers and busted hotels and crack hoes and shit like this. I mean, Lee, I can't. He's right there next to me. And we parked in there, and his fucking young daughter went in there, set up a camera amongst all these black people. And she had to watch the camera with a gun and a bazooka tied to her like a terrorist. If you touched her, the camera would go off. I mean, she taped the fucking set. Lee, it was the worst set you could ever imagine. I was dancing in the beginning. I mean, it was garbage, but who gave a fuck? That's what this whole thing is about. Like, this is, and he was with me. He drove me.
Yeah, she had solid gold balls.
Yeah, this is 93. But then I'm working for a sports betting joint, and Mike comes to me one day and he goes, my daughter's doing a movie, and she wants you to play the bad guy. And she goes, in fact, she wrote it kind of about you kidnapping a dude and putting him in the trunk of a car and this whole thing, right? And this is fucking, at this time, I'm going to Mike's house a lot. He's got a dog. He's got 2 young daughters. We're having a great time all the time. Me and Mike were doing bumps. We're smoking dope. We're going on missions in Boulder. Listen, you know, me and Mike are like me and Luz when we were kids. There could be a foot of snow, and if we got an itch, it's going to get scratched. That's just the way life is. At that time, you know, he was my fucking yin and I was his yang. Nobody understood him like I did. I still remember one day he called me up crying, telling me like,
It was the devil.
I'm never going to do cocaine again. And I'm giggling on the other side going, Mike, you're talking to me.
No.
You don't have to sing this to me.
I was completely serious at the time. It was
Yeah,
terrible.
good, right. Yeah,
I
right.
was fucking nuts.
So now, we were fucking nuts.
That was it. No.
I'm divorced.
That was close to the end.
I'm
man.
bringing my daughter over to Mike's house. My baby daughter at the time, Jacqueline, the older one, she would play with the dog. Remember the dog loved her and your mother and your
Holy
wife
shit.
and the whole fucking thing? Yeah. This is how deep we go back, guys. But then we do this movie. I agree to do this movie up in this fucking town.
This is a good thing.
This is a good thing. And I agree to do this movie. We do this movie. I get there at 12 o'clock and for fucking lunch. I didn't know nothing about movies those days. You tell me 12 o'clock, I'm ready to go at 12 o'clock. I got to get out of here. I didn't know nothing that you waited around all day. Do you know what time I shot, guys? At 4 in the fucking morning, they woke me up to shoot my scene. So I got there at 12 o'clock Sunday for lunch. And it was an all-day thing. But something happened on the way to the fucking park that Mike's going to remember. So Mike's wife has this friend.
Oh, jeez, here it
This
comes.
little cute little hip. This
Jeez. I'm done, man. I'm fucking done. I'm telling you. I am done. Go ahead. It's ugly. It's fucking. Oh, man. There'll be hell to pay. But now the funny thing is, here's the thing, is that this movie comes out and it's like good.
Oh, it's a good movie.
You know,
somebody still has it. Somebody said
it-
they found the tape in their house with my stand-up on it.
It wins the prize. It was like somebody named Goldberg or something. It won fucking blue ribbon, Academy Award shit.
But on top of all this, I'm tired, Lee. We've been there all fucking day. And I think I say something. Mike,
It was
Mike,
nuts. Yeah, it was 24 hours.
I
or
go, Mike, I
something.
gotta fucking lay down.
Oh, jeez. Here it comes. Here it comes. You gotta oh, jeez.
Does he torture you with this story?
No, he don't. No,
He forgot all about it.
No.
I was thinking about what, you know.
It's the women that I love that torture me. Oh, jeez. They hate me. I become like the devil. You know.
So I go on
It is. It's like they go, what? You know what? Why do you? How could you hang out with him?
I go on this Toyota long
I
bed
know,
truck
I don't know.
with a shell on it, right? I don't know nothing. There's a pillow in there. I lay down, right? I'm minding my own business. And all of a sudden the truck opens up and this chick's like, "Hi, what are you doing in there?" I'm like, "I'm taking a nap." She goes, "This truck belongs to me," or whatever. And she goes, "I'm kind of tired. It looks kind of warm and cozy in there." I had like a blanket, something. I'm in there laying down. 1 minute we're laying down. The next minute we're swapping.
What are you talking about? It looks warm and cozy in there. That never happens to anybody.
She starts laying next to me. We start swapping spit. I start fingering them. Whatever the fuck happens. And I don't know what happens. I start eating a monkey. Then we just went for it. Fuck it. We took a chance. Columbus did.
While his daughter was shooting like a student film.
No,
Yeah.
this is 20. There's this really small town outside of Boulder, right? It's like Lyons.
Oh my God.
It's like Lyons, Colorado, right?
This is terrible.
And there's this like diner in town, you know, and it's like, the diner's real, right? Well, we get the people in the diner to let the kids shoot a film there, right?
Okay.
This is CU film school shit. So my daughter gets this idea from this story that Uncle Joey told her a long time ago. Because that's what it was. We don't look at him as a criminal. He was a very creative guy. This is how we got through life. So anyway, that's it. But anyway, so this whole town for 24 hours.
We shoot this fucking. Well, anyway.
Yeah, what happened with the woman?
Listen, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. She sits next to me. We start swapping spit. I start fingering her. We getting hot and nasty. She's really cute. She's just way older than me. But she was dynamite, man. She had a great fucking body. But her little monkey was pierced.
Oh, my God.
And I gave her a stab.
I didn't know that.
I gave her a stab in Christopher Columbus. No condom, no nothing. It was tremendous.
No condom is Christopher Columbus style?
Yeah, and I gave her like 3 days later. They hate me at Mike's house, and they said I gave her chlamydia and shit like that.
Who is it?
And then I banged her in the muffler and all this shit. I didn't bang her in the muffler.
It's never been the same.
It's never been the same.
Is it?
They hate me, though.
Is it
Oh,
someone?
please, they hate me.
Can you tell us who it was?
I don't know her name. This is the 20 fucking.
What did she like? Disappear into the mist after? you
No, this is well. If you gave somebody chlamydia, wouldn't you disappear into the mist with fucking what's her name? No, man.
No,
this had to be January or February of '95.
Okay.
And by this time, I was doing comedy. I was trying to do comedy. I think Mike would drive me from time to time, but at this time, Mike also knew. Mike knew when I had the Rocky apartment, the one across the street from the YMCA, downstairs. Do you remember that apartment at all? Fuck no! Look at you.
No.
That star of death is killing you.
It's it. It's almost there. I think it's the
All right,
basement.
but I was doing
You
comedy.
had a bench with.
Yes, in the basement with the
yeah.
bench, and I had the fucking tub, whatever, the
Yeah.
stand-up metal thing in the
I don't know
back
why
where
I
you took a
remember.
shower. But I was always at your house. You used to make veal scallopini and fucking spaghetti and all that
I was
shit.
into cooking.
And then you got a car, and at the same time, I got thrown out of the Comedy Works. And you gave me the fucking car for $600. But, like you were in Boulder that whole time when I was really angry about.
Yeah, you
my
had some
ex-wife.
issues.
It was really bad for a while, Lee.
Yeah. That's some tough stuff.
Like he saw it all. He saw the whole thing. He saw me pack up my car. He saw me fucking head to the hills and do comedy. And then we both reconnected. So we both left. I left Boulder in '95.
Okay.
And I went to Seattle. I stayed up there for a while. And then I went on the road and hooked up with your daughter in Boston. She had a boyfriend and they lived in Boston. The young daughter.
Oh,
The stockbroker guy lives in Laguna Beach or something now.
yeah.
So then we fucking went. You called me one day and you said, guess what? I'm coming to Los Angeles for something. And we went to a Christmas party on Sunset. Me, you, my ex-manager, Jeff Gatlin, and his wife, and we went dancing at a bar. And you said you were coming back. And you actually came back like a year later, maybe. I don't know. But you came back. And again, now at this time, I'm a regular at the Comedy Store. You know, I wasn't doing movies yet, but it was starting to click for me. You know, you drove me to the apartment. You were there and met my wife. I mean, you were my best man, you know, 9 years later. But, go ahead, I'm sorry.
It was about that time, you know, also, you were like, you were allowed to park your car at the store.
Yes.
I was real impressed with that.
Yeah. We used to park the car at the store. But also,
I mean, there's like 50 guys that can't park their car at the store, right?
no, we were parking everything. We were parking all the way in the back and shit, drinking for free. But it's funny that at that time I was also in hell with the addiction thing, you know, but I was still moving along. That's what I tell these people all the time, that the coke problem I had was at night. At night, late night, when it was time to fucking work. You know, I was telling Lee when you got here that you drove me to the Spider-Man 2 audition on the Sony lot. On the hottest fucking day of the year, I had to wear a black velour sweatsuit and walk from the parking lot to the Spider-Man's room. And he sat in the car and waited for me. He knew all these guys. He knew Gabriel, Felipe, Fly, Jeff Garcia, George Perez. They used to call him the Wolf. Silent Bob. Silent Bob.
From Pulp Fiction? Like that's the...
Yeah, they called him. We were out every fucking night doing something.
I never knew that's where it came from until about 2 years
all
ago.
Those guys.
They go, Wolf. I go,
The Wolf. They used to call him the Wolf.
And I swear, I never.
He was out with me 3-4 nights a week till fucking 11:30 at night.
I was just hanging out. I was being like a teenager, you know. I was like an idiot, you know.
No.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great
fun.
talking to you. It was you were here with me now. Now I had backup. Now I had family out here. You were, and then what did we do? We did something. Were you around for the Longest Yard? Yes or no?
Yeah.
No. 2004 when I was shooting down there? No.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was here.
Spider-Man 2, all that stuff?
Yeah.
By the way, I saw that movie the other night. It was on, and I was petting one of the cats, and I said, you know what? I really don't want to move. Let me watch this for a second. Jesus Christ. It was the slowest 30 seconds of my life. I thought I was going to die of soft pain. Until Doc Ock takes that girl out of the restaurant by her throat, that movie's slower than fucking molasses. Then it picks up. Then it's not bad.
That's one of the movies that like and you're funny and but like those that era of Spider-Man movies everyone loved and I didn't get it. The only one I liked was the last one where he turned black and he was kind of dark, but then everyone else hated that one. But it was kind of weird. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I thought he was a great Peter Parker. There's one scene where he's looking. He's
okay.
sitting there and he's going through changes like Lee Syatt 2 nights a week, and he fucking what do you call that? I was looking at him, I'm thinking
Transform.
and I looked at him, yeah, and he really, in my mind, I go, yeah. If I had to think about what Peter Parker looked like, it would be him.
Yeah, he was like
He really does. He really does. So
I don't know.
you know, Mike.
Stars of Death.
Yeah, I told you that Stars of Death. Yeah. It's really weird because Mike saw me at my worst, but then he walked me down the fucking aisle to marry my wife. So it just when you called me and you said you were coming to town, I said, "What the fuck?" He got me a job in an Acura place one time. I sold 3 cars, and one day the guy got loud with me or something. And I don't know what happened. I told him I was going to throw him through a plate glass window or something. I was fucking crazy, just out of prison, fucking nuts. And I don't know what the guy said to Mike. He pulled Mike aside. Fucking crazy shit.
They said, hurry. Joey's got the manager up by the throat. Right? I don't know why I thought it was funny, but
I was laughing my ass off years
no,
later.
I couldn't.
myself.
I figured you'd have heard him already, but by now. But I remember coming over there and kind of asking you, like, Joey, this is like not a good idea. Put him down, would you? You know, it was hysterical. It was like
I go visit Mike at his job.
I came
one day.
in. I came in and I got and I got the monster off him. All I had to do was ask. I'm serious. And that was it. You didn't hurt the guy. So.
I go visit Mike one day at his job.
And I was thoroughly entertained.
And Mike's talking about something, Lee. And at that time, it's...
The guy had been disrespectful, by the way. Nice guy.
It was about...
Can I say? Then he was a psychotic, you know.
This is... I think I look at Mike...
Damn.
Oh, my God. I was out of
crazy.
my mind. I was out of my fucking mind. I look at Mike. I go to visit Mike.
He's working in the car store. He grabs the manager. He goes.
I was crazy. Lee, I was on a different
that's psychotic.
level.
That's not like a little crazy. And I'm sitting there. I'm going like I'm hanging out with this guy. What the fuck am I doing hanging out with this? But it was entertaining. You know. Can the rest of my life, you know.
You know, it was at that
What can I
point
say?
that a lot of people listening get to. It's at that point where you figured out what you want to do with your life.
Oh, I'm still working on
But
it.
you have to have a job to pay your bills. And you're only doing this fucking job to pay your fucking bills. That was the point in my life I was at. Like, all I want to do is be a fucking comedian. When is this going to fucking happen for me? Like, that was what I was going through at that time. And I'm trying to work, and these people are breaking my balls. And all I want to do, that's all I want to fucking do, Lee. And I couldn't figure out how to fucking do it. That's one of the most inner worst that you could feel when you know what you want to do, but you can't quite figure out exactly what needs to be done. You know? And now I gotta fucking get up in the morning and sell fucking cars for a living. Am I fucking retarded? You know what? I'm not doing it. And those jobs like that, I would last a month at them until one day I said, I'm just going to do comedy and steal along the way. Whatever's not nailed down, however I can make money, I'm going to fucking do it. You know? One of the times I robbed one of the dealerships, Mike.
I don't understand. I have no idea what you're talking about. I plead the fifth.
Fucking hell, and they blamed it on somebody else.
I don't know a fucking thing. I'm serious. God is my witness.
There's no one on the other side, Mike. They're not like.
I have absolutely no knowledge.
He really didn't have any knowledge. You know, we were talking like 2 days later, and I said to him, somebody robbed your dealership.
Jesus. I think it was like $80 or something.
No, it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't. It was like 3 bills. Or
wow, it's
something.
$300. Yeah.
Dog, in those days, my rent was $400.
Yeah,
Why do they have cash in a car dealership?
to give
Who's coming in and buying a car with cash?
They make salesmen jump, and they go, "Hey, if you can like sell me 2 in like the next hour, I'll give you $200."
Oh yeah, well then that deserves to be robbed.
You know, it's a job that you do when you can't do anything else. You know, you can't punch a clock, you can't, and it's really about, you know, can I communicate with people without screwing them over and stuff. You know, just it's a nice car, put you in it, you buy it. I make a little money. If I do a lot of them, we make some money. I started making good money, but you know, we played it straight.
Lee, fucking hilariously. You know, this is why I get happy when I tap into this part of my life and somebody in the room. It sucks, but it makes me laugh because in those nights, if I would do comedy, how I would reward myself, I would go to Ralph's, the supermarket, on 30th and Arapahoe. I pull in there by myself at about 11:30, 11:45. And I'd buy a package of saltines, a little piece of Edam cheese, and a little container of freshly squeezed orange juice. And I'd go to the Acura dealership, and I'd get out of my car, and I'd look at the cars, and I'd eat the cheese and eat the crackers at night. And think to myself, one day I'll be able to buy one of these fucking cars from making comedy, you know. This is real shit. Then I had an Acura. I was planning to fucking rob Mike's dealership and take one of the cars and take it to my house and take the rims off it and put it on my Acura and put the old rims on the other Acura and take it back to the dealership. Lee, this was a complete different person. When I sit here in front of you, I sit here and we giggle about this stupidity, but this is where my head was at. I had a brand new Acura. Me and Mike went to the fucking Denver Nugget game, and I hit black ice, and the rim hit the fucking thing, and I had to get a whole new rim. I had alloy wheels on this fucking Acura. Each rim was $2,000. I had $2 in my fucking account.
I don't know anything about it.
Yes, you do. Don't fucking lie. But then you also the driver, before you became the head driver here in L.A., we used to go out every night. You were also the driver in Boulder for a few comedy shows. I forget where you drove me one time. Well, you drove me to the Black Club Mix, but then you drove me somewhere. That was the name of it, Club Mix.
Yes.
But then you drove me somewhere else.
I was talking to my kid about it. Yeah. I said, well, how old are you, 12? She says, no, I was. She was in film school, right? I think, right?
Who? When I met you guys?
No, and with this thing, we were this. Isn't that the thing that she shot?
What shot?
You know, she filmed. Well, all right.
Yes, she was in film school at that time.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
But I had met her before that. Because I had met you, and I was friends with you, and I was friends with your youngest daughter. But I would go to a restaurant named Ladizio every day. He was another guy I met in the halfway house that owned the restaurant.
Great food.
Him and his wife. Fucking great food.
Great
now
food.
they own the Mediterranean. They're a piece owner of the Mediterranean in Boulder. But he's the head fucking menu dude. Lee, forget about that. Here's a arrabbiata, Lee. He puts pancetta in it. That little fucking like real bacon, Italian bacon. With the fat, more fat, and little fat, all put on one piece. You know what that does to sauce? And he fucking puts chunk of pepper. You have no fucking idea, my friend. He is one of the best. His pizza, I eat all the time if I'm in Boulder. I haven't had his pizza in 20 fucking years. What am I talking about?
He's still there?
He's still there.
He
He sold the restaurant, but he still does the fucking pizzas on Saturdays and Sundays at the farmer's market or whatever.
He'd be worth it. I mean, if he shows up himself with the oven, that's what he still does his hands on. He's got some great stories.
I'm, fucking bad state of my mind. It's maybe April of 1995. I'm broke. I'm at war with my ex-wife. I really want to do fucking comedy. And I got a call from Mike that he's coming over to pick me up because he's working for a guy named Jack Smoot. And he needs to pick up a car. The guy was a wholesaler. When you wholesale cars, at this time, Mike was not on a lot anymore. He had become a wholesaler where you go to a fucking, what do you call those things on Tuesday and buy cars off the line?
Auctions.
An auction, then you take them to dealerships. So I'm in the car with Mike.
What a freak show.
I had gotten fired from my Tuesday night hosting job at the Broker
Why?
because things happened.
Things happen.
What are you, a fucking detective?
He threatened somebody.
No, I got into an argument with the manager there.
Yeah.
The manager, it was my time to leave, and you know what I'm saying? It was an argument that nothing really bad happened. We just argued, and then they said, you know what, we're going to get another host. And by that time, I had already done my time there, Lee. I had gotten what I could get from that room. I had already had 15 minutes of comedy. I had met 300 comics. I had done, it was a year and a half. I had done every fucking Tuesday night, But I'm with Mike. It's about 11 o'clock at night. I got a pager at the time.
Oh, God.
And I got a fucking page from 206, which is Washington. And we run back to Mike's house with a calling card, and we fucking call this number, and it's a guy by the name of David Tribble. And he goes, Joe Diaz, David Tribble. He goes, I hear good things about you. Are you ready to go on the road? I was at Mike the first time I got a road job offered to
Oh,
me.
shit. That's awesome.
And the guy offered me 5 weeks of work right off the bat. Like, right off the fucking bat. Like, and I'm like, absolutely. And I go, when do they start? And he's like, tomorrow night. And Mike had to do something. We had to get a car. We had to either rent it. We stole it from a lot. We borrowed it from a lot. An owner didn't. Something wasn't. We loaded that motherfucker up with sandwiches and anything else we could find. And I went on the road for 5 fucking weeks. I came back on the weekends and we switched cars or something happened.
I can't believe I did that.
Yeah, somebody.
That wasn't me.
No, somebody had gone on
Definitely.
You know, I remember what it was. It was somebody's girlfriend had gone on vacation. It was her car.
Here we go. Good story.
Something,
I like it.
something
You're
crazy like that. But all those times, Lee, that when I was struggling in the beginning of comedy, like that was real, man. And then he moved to L.A. and like I said, we were always out on Mondays. Mondays he would drive me up to Universal.
I knew nothing about this. I swear to God.
Mondays he would drive me up to Universal City to Ernie G's room. Do you remember Ernie G's room? The Roomba room.
Yeah.
And we used to get Cuban food up there. There used to be a Versailles up there, Lee.
Oh shit, Versailles.
Ernie G, the big Cuban.
The big guy. We used to go up there on Mondays, and we go to the Comedy Store and lurk.
Yeah,
Tuesdays we go to Casa Latina with Fly and Jeff Garcia. I picked up my first 40 there, and then we go to somebody else had a room on Tuesdays, and I picked up 60 there, Felipe, and now we had 100. 20 had to go into the gas tank because Mike had to go somewhere the next morning. So we had 80 to work with. Now we got to go to work. Now we got to go to the store. We got to work somebody for a small 40 or a 50. We got to show up with a story. You know what I'm saying? I can't go home with a half a gram. There's too much work. We got to go home with something. Old school, Lee. Old school. We go out with zero and come whatever we come home with, we split right down the middle.
Uncle Mike, I have a question. Was Joey always making up songs? Because he always does that. I don't know anyone else who does it. It's not like he sings. He makes up songs.
He makes up everything. He's
a fucking song, Lee. What kind of question is that?
No,
I don't even know what you're talking about. What kind of songs do I make?
Like I don't know, the songs. When you call me to taunt me, I can't sing them now. But
no, does he have it when you pick up
my
the
notes
phone?
like this thing?
No, he goes. You wake up. He'll wake you up and he'll go. Hey, you think about looking at my balls, right? And you know,
and then like you'll take like a song on the radio, but sing your own lyrics to it.
He tells you to go wash your pussy and you know come on down. You know,
he would say that back then.
Oh yeah, no, it's hysterical. I don't know. What can I tell you?
Just a long time,
and entertaining.
It's been a long fucking journey, man. And that's what I was thinking about all day today. I wrote a little bit in the book. I wrote in 2 different chapters. And just thinking about all these little things, I made notes because it exercised my mind. It made me remember how hard 1994 and 1995 was. In more ways than one. My health was great. But I was getting beat up by my ex-wife. You know, if you've ever started anything, I was starting comedy, one of the hardest things to start, and I was getting beat up there. But guess what? At that time, I was out every night, at least I had. See, for the first 3 years of comedy, 91, 92, and 93, I just jerked around. I was just telling people I was doing comedy. I was getting on stage twice a month, if I was lucky.
Right.
I was like one night I'd get fired up and go, and I would commit to it. I'd drive 30 miles. I'd eat dinner out there, and I'd go on stage and bomb, and then I wouldn't go on stage for a month. But then I went to New York, and I realized, and then when I went back to Colorado, I was out every fucking night. I used to do comedy after a line dancing thing.
So were you doing open mics?
Open mics, $20 paid gigs. It didn't fucking matter. It just didn't matter, man. I was paying $400 a month rent. The car I had could break down at any fucking minute. At any minute. That's why when I went on the road and he hooked me up with that car, that was the fucking car I took to Seattle, and I went and did my thing. So if it wasn't for Mike, maybe I wouldn't be doing comedy right now. You know what I'm saying? Mike was a good fucking dude then.
That's really cool. It's
At least Mike,
I have no idea what he's talking about.
At least Mike understood at that time what I was trying to do. Mike had tried to be a musician when he was younger. You know, he had a family. He had to do different things. That came first. So I think that do you remember when I showed up at your house and spent the night with that girl? Because fucking we were on the road together, and I had to spend the
Jody,
night.
right?
Yeah, and I spent the night in one room and the other. At that night, your wife was cool for some reason. She had forgiven me for a week or so.
Yeah.
Then then the girl called and said,
My
never went away.
wife was always cool. She never embarrassed anybody.
No, she was cool.
No, but she'll let you know she don't like it.
Yeah, that was the bad thing.
No, she's a lady. She's like, she's still cool. She's my best friend.
I'll never forget. I went to Mike one day. I go, Michael, what are those people doing in the corner over there?
Where is
They
this
sell
now?
blow over there? And he goes, no, those black dudes sell crack. And I'm like, they don't sell fucking crack. And about 3 months later, I'm driving home from the comedy store. I got no cocaine. And who's on the corner by Man's Chinese Theater? Down the block on those corners right there, those 4 corners, were these 3 black dudes right there. I look over at the dude. He looks over at me. He knows what time it is. He comes over to the car. He asks me what I'm looking for.
not crack.
I make believe I'm retarded. Yes, I do, Lisa. I said, what can I get for a 20? He throws me a chunk of fucking something. I take it home, Lee. Now, in my heart, I know it's crack. But in my demented fucking cocaine head, I want it to be regular coke.
So why didn't you just go buy coke?
I go because I couldn't get none. Everybody was locked up or out of town. Or somebody had been shot. I don't fucking know, Lee. I just couldn't get none. Nobody had it that night. There's some nights you fucking blank. Nobody's got it. There's nothing you can do.
That's why you should not do the whole package.
So I
every night.
bought the fucking crack. I took it home and I tried to snort it. And it didn't melt right. And I just went to bed. I jerked off and went to bed. And the next day, Mike picked me up. And I told Mike I bought a rock on the corner. He goes, you fucking moron. That's not coke. That's crack. You got to get a crack pipe and smoke it. And I just went and got a coke can. And for about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I smoked crack and shit. And I used to tell Mike, I smoke crack.
I have no idea what he's talking.
You know what I'm fucking talking about. What make believe talk. Oh my God.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
You forgot all about that corner over there on Orange.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is why when you do 1,200 milligrams, you're like,
Who?
you.
What do you mean?
You smoking crack? Just randomly, just for the...
I did it for about 8 weeks.
You smoke crack the way, like, people, like, sign up for social media accounts just to see how it is. You're like, oh.
This had to be 2000.
You just try...
And I used to go to El Paso a lot in those days. I used to go to El Paso every 8 weeks.
Trial period.
Co-headline.
Free trial.
It was like a trial period of crack. It really was.
Oh, my God.
So I got hooked on crack for like 3 months, right?
How could you possibly do comedy?
No, because this is what I do. Nobody knew. Just you. Nobody. Don't say you don't have knowledge, cocksucker. I'll stab you in the heart with this pencil.
I have no knowledge.
Nobody fucking knew I was smoking crack. At that time, my first choice was cocaine, so I would buy like a little bit of coke and then go, fuck it, I might as well buy a little piece of crack. I would have soda at the house, which meant I had a crack pipe, because I would drink a soda and then empty it and then make little holes, and I'd smoke the crack. I'd blow towards the fucking can and I'd get high on the crack. So,
Oh, my God.
oh yeah, Lee, what I'm telling you, Lee, we're lucky to be here sitting here. So
Holy shit.
I go
Amen to that.
to El Paso to do comedy for a week. And when I get to El Paso, I don't know how to get cracked. So I had to go back to snorting coke. So for 6
Thank
nights.
goodness. Oh, my God. That saved your life.
So for
That's
I
horrible.
did. It did.
Coke saved my life.
So for 6 nights, I snorted coke. So for 6 nights, I snorted coke, and guess what? Ba-boom! I got off the crack.
Ooh, okay.
It's
Very
what a
nice.
wonderful thing.
This is fucking craziness, guys. This is really craziness.
It's madness.
And I can't.
I was making notes of this shit today.
I can't imagine living my life like that. It seems like it would be
Hell.
Yeah, exactly. No.
I was already in hell. I was a fucking 30-something-year-old trying to do comedy in L.A. who had nothing.
Very funny.
I
subject.
shared a fucking apartment. I paid $350 a month, and I could barely come up with that. You know, I wasn't hell, Lee. I didn't know what direction to go. I was getting on stage every night. I was fucking hustling. He's my witness right there. He knows. I was out every fucking night when I was here in the beginning. There wasn't a night. I didn't know what it was to fucking stay home. Yeah, on the way home, I'd make a stop. And that, you see, it's so crazy, Lee.
We spent $20
Because-
bucks worth of $20 in gas to go and get paid $20.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
I'm going, this guy's nuts, man.
I would do this every night, but I knew at the end of the night it would add up.
You know, I think, I don't know, right or wrong, it was like, I'm just having this vicarious kind of rush, right? We're just playing this guy. I'm in this fucking movie, and I'm watching this guy evolve, you know. I mean, it was way different. It was not like anything else in the beginning. It was something else. You know, it was a different act. You know, you remember? I mean, you know, but it didn't matter. You just kept going. You just kept going, and every time, hey, this works, this doesn't work.
You know, it was like the comedy fueled the coke, but the coke kind of fueled the comedy. Like, I went out to do comedy because I knew at the end of the night I was going to do coke. Let's be honest. I'm not going to lie to nobody. But for me to reward myself with the coke, I would have to do 2 or 3 spots. That was my way of reward. That was the world I was living in, Lee. You know, but I was still growing as a comic.
It's crazy how weird our brains are. That you could convince yourself.
That was what I was doing to myself. That's the fucking God honest truth. So if I had dope, remember, all it took was a 20 for me to get electrocuted. If it was good, I would get high with the $20, jerk off, and go to bed. If it was shitty, it would make me go get another 20 from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know nothing about jerking off.
this is where the addiction was.
I was never a witness to that.
Nobody said I whacked off in front
Oh
of you.
no! I thought there were nights.
No.
Hey, no. There things happen in your garage. I remember you called me with some strange shit.
What
like
garage?
underneath? Where was it? Next to the lesbian place. You lived there for years with the 20 cats. Right there in Hollywood.
Oh yeah. No, I had no drama there.
No, they were.
I was there for 9 fucking years.
No. That,
I was getting evil there.
yeah.
I was getting high there,
yeah.
but I wasn't. What do you call that shit? Fucking. There was no drama there.
You never took. You never didn't. I don't know. Okay, it could be an out-of-body experience.
Say it.
Take a. You had to take a crap, and you just did it right there, beside the car.
Oh no! One time, in the backyard.
I was
but the cops
hysterical.
didn't come.
I was hysterical.
Oh my God! One night I had to take a crap. I stopped the car, Lee. I got in front of it in my garage. I shit. I wiped my butt. I threw it over the poop, and I drove over it, not with the tire, right over it. You couldn't even see it.
I thought that was hysterical.
In his driveway or something?
In my driveway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you just told Mike about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard that. That's
Oh God.
he's
That was
crazy.
Lee, that was a crazy time, Lee. Lee, you wouldn't have been talking to me at this point.
You don't think so?
No.
You have to hold on to
From
your
2000 to 2006, I went fucking somewhere, and it was getting worse and worse and worse.
Do you think it would be talking to me though? Like, do you think you'd be looking for that kind of help or no?
No, you let me go. I'd be like your other clients. I wouldn't call you back with a credit card. I wouldn't call you back with the money. I would be an hour late. There was always a story. Oh, I'll give you that money next week, Lee. Give me 100 till next Tuesday. So it was just one of those fucking things, guys, you know. But I'm happy to see you're still healthy. I'm happy to see your kids are healthy. I'm happy to see that everything's still working. I'm happy to let these people know that we proved them wrong. Whether you're going to say you don't agree with none of this shit or whatever, that's fine. Guys like you and me, we proved them wrong.
A lot to do. Things to be done. And it's been a wild ride, Joey Diaz.
What do you do now for work?
I sell real estate. It's like cars without wheels.
And do you like it?
Oh, I'm having a ball.
How long have you been doing it for?
About 3 years.
You don't give up either.
No.
You could have been up there and got a retirement from your little Vietnam check, right?
Yeah.
And you said, fuck it, you still work. Yeah. How old are you, God bless you?
70.
70 years old.
Yeah.
Look at you. You inspire me, you fuck.
Yeah. Let's go.
Stop tapping on the goddamn table, Mike. That shit comes up on the microphone. Don't you hear it, you fuck?
No.
Lee, he was a worse driver than you were. Because he'd tell me Fat Tony stories and look at me and drive on Sunset.
Fat Frankie.
I almost died 82 fucking times, Lee.
Jesus.
Lee, it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I told him one story about Fat Frankie and forever. He goes, "Oh, Jesus, not another Fat Frankie story."
It was a Fat Frankie story constantly.
Not another Fat Frankie
He would drive me fucking nuts
story.
with a Fat Frankie story, Lee. It would drive me fucking bananas. You have no idea, but I would make him cut people off. He used to go with.
What do you make you beat? What do you make you beat people, Uncle Mike? What do you make you go vote for me or like beat people or zoom around people?
I have no memory of that.
You know, we used to wait for the mailman to come to the thing before we could make a move. Like Gardner. Yeah. We had the Filipino mailman. We would wait for him at attention. I would make him pick me up every day at 10 to 12. Mike,
That was a painful period of my life.
Mike, pick me
No, I'm serious. Oh, God, Jesus.
Because
I should, at that point in my life, I should have been struck by lightning. I mean, they're right. If there really was a God, that would have happened. That's how evil I was.
here's how it went, Lee. He'd get a call from me at 10:30.
I'm coming. Obviously, it's the past, long past.
Lee, come get me.
I don't know
Mike,
anything about it.
He'd come get me by 10 to 12. He'd come get me, and then from there we'd shoot right to Gardner, and we'd wait for the Filipino mailman, and whatever we would decide, it would be upon the Filipino mailman. Mike, what do you got? I got 20. Mike, what do you got? I got 27. Okay. I got fucking 22. That means we got options. We got a starting point here. We got something to work with. You know what I'm saying? If the checks don't come today, then we got something to work. You got anything coming in today? No, okay. So all our whole day would be based on the Filipino mailman.
You played the lottery every day.
Every day. Once we saw that truck, we knew something was coming. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I knew most days nothing was coming. But in my demented cocaine world, something was always coming. And guess what, Lee? I got surprised once a week.
With like what level of check?
It was a divine intervention.
In those days, the level of check that I needed was $63 because I could take that right to Whitley. They'd give me $58 after taking money out, and I'd go on my way with the check. See, now it's coming back to you, cocksucker, because that's how the day worked, Lee. So we'd pull over right under a tree on Gardner, right in front of fucking that building. And as soon as the mailman would come along, he'd say, "I'd have a check for you today." And I'd get out of that fucking car and I'd wait till he put the check in the box. He couldn't hand me the check because you can't do that. You have to put it in the fucking box. And he closed the box. Before he closed the box, I already had the key in that motherfucker. And I go, don't close it yet. And I would just open the thing and the checks would fall out. I'd put the rest of the mail in there and I'd take the checks out. Let's go. We got to go. And Mike, let's go to the check cashing place. And we'd go from Gardner to Whitley on Hollywood Boulevard in 3.2 minutes flat. On the way to the fucking check cashing place, I'd already have Johnny Yayo on the fucking phone asking him where he was at and how we could put this move together early. Because the quicker we could put the move together, That's it. You don't have to think about it the rest of the day. The rest of the day was fucking a piece of cake. Once you had what it took to put the day together. Now, if I woke up and I had $200 in my pocket, I would call Mike to go get Chinese lunch.
Those are good days.
That's a good day because I know I got a 60 for a G-Bowl LaRue, and if Mike needs a 60, I got it. That's how it worked in those days, Lee, believe it or not. If there was a check, we'd cut half of Hollywood off and go to the check cashing place at Whitley, cash that check, and from there we'd make a move. He'd disappear, he'd drop me off, and he'd pick me back up at 8:15, and we'd make the move and seal it, or we'd figure something out. He'd
I
stay
have
there.
no idea why I thought that would be fun, but that's what that's what it was.
Yes, it was.
Some reason it was right. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was a different fucking time, man.
Yeah. It was, for some reason, I don't remember it being anything other than fun. But I'm sure I could have spent my time better than that. You know, but you know.
You tried. You were making money. You were supporting the family. You were feeding fucking mouths. You know. You were still having a good time with me because it was in your fucking blood. You're a New York City guy. Yeah. What are you gonna do, dog? You can't be ashamed of what your past is at any point in time. I mean,
no,
we're not even going into fucking specifics here. God forbid we go into fucking specifics.
God forbid,
here.
yeah, God forbid. But no, it's just that there's a time where you feel you're in control, and there's times you feel you're not in control. That's all.
I'm still not in control. I'm 53 years old. Who gives a fuck? The more you're less in control, the better. You know what I'm saying? When I've been in control is when I haven't been in control.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Does that sound right?
No. What I mean by being in control, you're not at anyone's bidding at any point. You know, you got to do what you got to do, but nobody's got a leash around you, and you're not punching a clock. You know, you're an entrepreneur.
You know, I always thought that I had this money coming to me. After my mother died, I thought that my dad would call me up one day, and I thought he would give me like $500,000, but I'd take fucking $5,000. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, could you have gotten a bank account, but you just wanted the check immediately? Like you just do that all the time.
At that time in my world, Lee, what was the necessity for a checking account?
A life?
That was not what I wanted. That wasn't. So wait a second. What you're telling me is, I gotta take my check, go to your fucking bank, deposit, and I gotta wait a day. Even if the check is cut, I gotta wait till 3:00 to get my money, or the next day. I got no money. I'm living fucking hand to mouth. I'd rather pay the $219 and get my cash right there than have to fuck around. When you're in that world, Lee,
I've never been in that world.
that's the world that you decide to choose on. You know, and I would have 19 different paychecks coming in.
That's crazy.
In those days, I would have the Comedy Store check, the Improv check, the Laugh Factory check. They could amount to a total of $95. But to me, that was $22 million fucking dollars. Okay. Then you had your checks from selling cigars on the phone, and then you had your checks from maybe doing a short film, or maybe doing something for whatever the fuck it was. Do you follow what I'm saying to you? The more months I lived here, the more all those checks increased. You also had money coming in every night from the cash gigs. In those days in my world, in those days in my world, it was every night that I went out, Lee, was cash. Not in Colorado, but here.
Getting paid in cash.
I got to a point in Los Angeles where for years you heard comics going, "There's no reason to live in L.A. You don't make no money in L.A." Let me tell you something. I don't have those notebooks no more. But years later, I looked at those notebooks, and you have no idea what I was making in those rooms, Lee.
Well, that's the point. It's not that you can't make money if you're only doing the Comedy Store, Laugh Factory,
When I
Improv.
got here in '98, it took me about 2 years to get settled. But from 2000 to 2004, I had gigs every week from $40 to $250. Those $250, damn, it feels good to be a gangster. $250 was like driving to San Diego on a Saturday night or something.
Now, are there other comedians who make a living just still doing that circuit?
Listen, man.
Why
Again,
not?
You could, I guess.
yes, you can. Are you? Yes, you can. Are you? Whose phone is this? Would you turn this shit off, please? Yes, you can make a living. It just,
Okay, hold power off. There it is.
yeah, there you go.
There you go.
You can make a living, Lee, but you can't drive a Maserati. At that level,
Right,
in LA.
Is it? Yeah, is it?
At that level, okay, Lee, your buddy there, Tommy Easter, his level in LA right now, an apartment, not fucking Beverly Hills in the Valley, okay, a day job, and at night, his goal is 200 a week in gigs. Guess what, Lee? It's out there. I know people who do it.
But
You know how you get out there? You have to
How?
go to other gigs in Silver Lake and all those other gigs. And then those people will tell you about a Tuesday night where a guy pays $85 for 20 minutes up here in fucking off the 170 up there, whatever that is up there, La Clarita, La Lucenta up there. I don't know these, but that's how you get those rooms. They'll start asking you about rooms in Santa Barbara. Those rooms are $150 on a fucking Thursday night. If you put together a $250 on Saturday and a $150, that's $400. God forbid you go out on fucking Wednesday and Tuesday and pick up $100 and $100. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? There's a living. But the more you go out and talk to people and meet people, people will approach you and go, hey man, what are you doing next Saturday the 23rd? I got this gig at this fire department that we do once a month. It pays $75. Do you want to do it? And next thing you know, you're like, can I do the gig by 9? Because I got another gig right next to the city next to it that pays $200. So everything always works itself out while you're hustling. If you believe it yourself, like that's the level I was at in LA. I can't lie to you. And at that point, Lee, I look you straight in the eye and tell you I was struggling. I was probably making $1,600 a month cash on the road in LA. I was probably picking up another $700 on the road in those days as a feature act. All right? And I was probably picking up anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 in TV and film every month. And I could look you straight in the fucking eye right now and tell you I was walking around fucking broke in those days. I can barely make rent for $350 and help my wife with
like
the
50
fucking
grand
phone
a
bill
year.
and groceries. Yeah. Walking around broke. Bummy clothes, the whole fucking deal.
How much of it do you think went to cocaine?
What do you fucking think?
45, 40?
80%?
Wow.
Because my wife only saw the checks. She didn't see the cash. If I did bring home cash, I split with what I got with it.
It's tough when you get paid in cash to know how much you're making.
You follow me? Yeah. So nobody really knew what I was making in those days. So it was fucking wild when I think back of that hustle, you know?
Yeah.
And I was making, Lee, I was making it work.
I'm trying to remember.
I sit here amazed, thinking how I was making it work.
As a comedian.
In 2 weeks, I'll be here 20 fucking years. For the last 3 months, I have been thinking about this once a day. That I could fucking tell everybody here I thought I would last 3 years in this city. I thought I would last 3 years, go back to Boulder, murder my wife, go to jail for the rest of my life. And that was how this fucking story was going to end. This is the tragic story of another fucking sack of shit that got taken by drugs. If I would have made it 5 years in this town, I thought I'd be lucky. When I first got off that fucking RV, in the back of my head, I was like, listen, if I make it here 3 years and get a part as an extra, I'll be fucking thankful to God. At least I could tell people I was in LA. That's how I looked at it.
Oh, wow.
It's a weird town, LA. As soon as you get here, it just feels competitive. I don't know. At least it does for me. So it's weird. 20 years is amazing. It's I just hit 6, and it's I'm already like looking like in the future to I don't know how long I could stay here. It's a different kind of lifestyle.
Lee, your life wasn't planned for you. Do you fucking think I thought I'd be here for 20 years?
No.
Have you lost your goddamn mind?
Yeah.
I thought I would last 3 years tops. Once I got into the store, I was like, I hear they only give you spots for a year at the store. So I got like a year to really put the pieces together.
I was sure I wanted to go to New York. I hated it out here when I interned out here. Jeez.
Lee, you know what? I didn't have a choice to hate it or not to hate it when I came here. Do you know that? I got to be honest with you. Let me give you some shout-outs. Keep me posted. I want to thank Bob Lingus and his family for sending Lee and myself and the baby and Elmo and a beautiful baseball and a
bat?
book, a gorgeous book, Jimmy Page, The 3 Lives of Jimmy Page. Bob Lingus and his family, a fucking church family. Thank you very much. Matt Holmeyer, family, Don Wrangler, Emmanuel Cologne, Mary Jane Scott, Ookie Spooky, Ali Boz over there in fucking Australia. Haven't heard from him. Grimace, Mike Model B, and my man Santa Romano. I want to give you a little love there. I don't know what's cracking up in your life and shit, what you're doing. But that's the real deal. Wasn't whether I had an option to stay here or fucking not, Lee. This was it for the next couple of years until something fucking happened. I didn't know nothing was gonna fucking happen.
You didn't consider going back to Denver to do it, or New York? Or
Listen, the
like
only
that?
thing that was gonna happen in Denver, if I went back to Denver, was tempers were gonna escalate, and something was gonna happen between me, that poor woman, and her husband. That's all that. I would have given it 6 months.
That's all
Mike
it'll
can't
take,
fucking
okay.
think right now.
Oh man,
Mike can't
it's-
answer questions right now.
No, you know what
But if Mike could remember for 5 minutes
listen,
the anger I had in my heart in those days,
no,
that's why it's even to never mind that I'm still doing comedy, just to think of getting that anger out of my heart that I had, because there's no way you could progress in your life with any type of anger like that in your fucking life. And I did it 3 or 4 times. I thought I was so angry at somebody I was gonna fucking kill him. But you know what, man?
How'd you get out of it?
How did I get out of it?
How'd you get out of it? Because I remember there's a time you weren't. There's a time.
You know what heals all wounds?
'Cause, yeah,
Time.
you and us, you were talking about. I'm not fucking going.
Oh no, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It obsessed me.
Yeah.
Just the thought that she had done.
I was
it to
worried
me.
about you.
Till
No,
this day, there's nights that I sit there and my body goes into like a fucking, and I think to myself, what the fuck am I doing here? I should be over there trying to kill them both. And I go, what's wrong with me? What the fuck is wrong with me?
I'm saying,
I'm
what's
better
wrong with
than
me?
this shit.
Yeah, I'm going.
But-
What's wrong with me?
No. It was a different. It was a really
I'm looking
different
at
time.
this story and I'm going, wow.
No, I would have been a guy. If I would have gone back to Boulder to play Daddy, I would have still been doing time right now. This would have not have ended well at all. And New York, you know what? I'd been in New York. New York, I love New York. It's where I grew up. But New York spelled one thing for me, and it's called easy access. What does that mean? That I could have a conversation with you at 4 in the morning, at 5 in the morning. We could be picking up a kilo on 181st in Amsterdam. And on the way out the door, I'm going to go to his name and buy a machine gun. That's what that meant. I didn't need that in my life.
That sounds very appealing.
So,
So,
thank
my
you,
question.
Jesus.
So how did you have such a frank conversation with yourself? Did you have to do acid and think about it? Or what?
No, at that time there was no fucking acid.
Or
There was only one drug in my life in those days, Lee. From 98 to 2007, there was basically 2-3 drugs I did. Cocaine, maybe a sleeping pill somebody had or a Vicodin, and then for that one summer I did those couple of packages of heroin. That's it. There was no fucking confusion about nothing else, Lee.
I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised you wouldn't go to the easy access of New York. That's my point.
I don't understand if you understand what I mean by
No,
easy.
I do understand.
There
that.
has to
Yeah.
be a blockage in your life.
Okay.
There has to be, even AA. They make
So
you
where'd
call.
you go?
They make you call somebody. Does that work? 9 out of 10 times, who the fuck knows? I've never been there where, you know what? I want to get my dick sucked and do some cocaine. Hold on. Let me call my sponsor, Mel, first. At 2 in the morning. Listen, Mel, I got to talk to you about something. Enough is enough. I can't get a job. My mother hates me. Listen, I got a check from the VA for 90. Roy with the one arm over at fucking the bar. He's got grams for 80 and they're kicking. My wife's got some old whiskey. I'm going deep. You understand me? No, don't do it. Read page 48 of Psalm 4. You know, the big book. Listen, when I see you, I'm going to hit you with the big book 80 fucking times in the head. I've never had nobody call me and say, Joey, listen, I'm thinking of shooting myself. Stop me. I don't have those type of friends. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's ever called me and said, listen, I got a kilo. I can't stop snorting. You got to help me. Nobody's ever called me with those fucking calls. That's all in the movies and shit. Call your sponsor. Go fuck yourself. I got a blonde at the bar. She says if I could get a fucking 8-ball, she'll suck my dick to the skin color. Looks like Michael Jackson's dick. She'll take the paint right off it. And I got to call my sponsor to ask him. You call your sponsor at 4 in the morning. Listen, I haven't been clean and sober for 9 years. But let me tell you the situation, Mel. There's a girl at the bar. Says with an 8-ball, she'll do things to my nutsack, tongues in my ass. What do you think? Should we go for it one time? I'll be at a meeting tomorrow, Tip Top Magoo. The guy will say, go ahead, go for it. It's been a long time. You've been clean and sober. Things happen, Lee. Who the fuck knows?
You would, if you had an AA sponsor, you would torment them.
They
would quit AA.
Let me tell you something. When I was in the halfway house, I found an AA sponsor for a while. I found an AA sponsor, and he talked me into. I was trying to go to NA, and he talked me into AA. And we would meet once a week in Boulder and talk about what was going on. I had to meet with my sponsor. It was part of the Boulder halfway house thing. That was part of it. He had to sign the piece of paper.
Why would you go if you weren't an alcoholic?
Because the principles were the same.
Okay.
Addiction is addiction. You know, that's how he explained it to me. He was a realist. He was like, you know what? I talked to him for about a year, even though I was doing blow. He was a real dynamite white dude. Dynamite white people from the heart of this country, like Omaha, Nebraska, something. This dude was tight. He wasn't judgmental. I learned a lot of fucking little things from having like a little fucking sponsor. And guess what happens? I disconnect with him. I bump into him 18 months later. He goes, you look great. You look great too. I said, listen, I gotta be honest with you. I've been smoking dope and snorting coke. He goes, don't worry about it. He goes, I've been smoking dope like a motherfucker myself. Fuck all that nonsense. That shit don't work. He went off about something. That was the end of that.
That's hysterical.
I'm
sorry.
Nice.
Yeah, you know.
No, but I believe in that.
No, I believe in it.
I believe it. I just don't think that I could call
Nobody else
sponsor.
don't know shit like that happens.
You know, time listen, for 3 or 4 years, it wasn't that I wanted to do coke. It was the situations I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
We're a suicide mission, you know.
You're at the Comedy Store, bro, and there's a hot chick, and she's visiting from fucking New Jersey, and she's talking about she wants to party, and you know she's a freak, or whatever the fuck is going on. I don't know, Lee. Just different situations. People come to the store and they're looking
everyday kind of thing.
Somebody comes to look to buy blow, and you get them a gram, and all of a sudden they give you half of it. You know.
It happens to everyone.
Yeah, sure it does. Happens to me all the time.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Listen, man,
it's not a normal
when you're hooked on drugs, whatever drug it is, it's like a medal. It's just like carrying a gun. I've said it 1,000 times. When you put a gun on your waist, it's like a medal for trouble. When you do drugs, you know, I gotta tell you something.
Yeah, that's what.
In 30 years of doing drugs, let's pretend I did cocaine for 25 years. You know, in those 25 years, how many times I got approached by people asking me if I want to do heroin? Maybe 3 times. You know how many times people came up to me and asked me if I want to do meth? Maybe 3 times. You know how many times people came up to me and asked me if I want to do blow? Oh, about 1,000,000.8 times. Why? Because you're a magnet for that shit. In Hollywood, I knew 2 people who did heroin. I knew these two lesbians. You could ask Josh Wolf. Me and Josh Wolf were friends with them. These two ladies were solid women. Both of them good looking, tattooed up. They would lock themselves in that apartment, eat monkey, and fucking shoot heroin. Then they wouldn't take showers. Or they would take showers without soap because they wouldn't unclog their skin pores. We discussed this shit before.
Did you guys know each other when you were living in your car in LA?
Who?
You two.
Me and Mike?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if Mike was here when I was living in my car.
Where were we living?
Were you living in L.A. when I was living in my car by Ralphie's house when I had the...
No, I think I got it right after that.
Yeah, he got here shortly after that.
No, you had a place, I think. Yeah, that's the same place you had. What's the name of the street? Shermer? With the lesbian...
The center next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Terry, with my wife, who was my wife now. Yeah, that's when I was there, but I wouldn't use that as my address. I would use Gavin and Ralphie's apartment as my address. I would use Gardner as my address.
Right.
I lived on Schrader, but I would use Gardner. So that's why I chased the mailman on fucking Gardner all the time. You remember chasing that fucking mailman, huh?
Please.
You saw a lot of things, man. Even though you ate the stars of death and you can't remember, you saw a lot of fucking good stuff, man.
I deny everything.
Remember we went to see that Spanish dude at the House of Blues that was playing the conga drums?
Yes, actually.
The Patato Totico. And he asked me if I'd get him a package. Talking about, see, like I hadn't seen him in fucking 20 years. And the first thing he said to me, can you get a fucking package?
Oh, God.
Would it upset you?
Did it upset me? No, it didn't upset me at all.
No,
Did I get one?
I like it.
No, I didn't get it from him. I went home. Fuck him. I told him I'd be back. I just wanted to say hello to him to see what it was like. I knew him as a child, you know.
Right, and then he asked you for Coke. It must have been disappointing.
No, it wasn't disappointing. It was what it was. Those were the times. Those were the people I knew at that time, at that age. It's a shame. What's the matter, Mike?
Who was that?
Potato.
Oh.
Where was the Tico?
Potico was dead at that point. Oh. But Mike was a manager of the car store or something, and one of the salesmen was a conga player. So Mike talked to the kid about the congas, and the kid told Mike to go see that guy that night. That's how I found out about him. I don't even think I was going to the store then. At that time, I wasn't going to the store. I had already stopped going to the store. We just parked and went to the House of Blues and left the House of Blues, and I went home. I think the show started at 8. We stayed for maybe 3 songs.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I can't be cooped up for much longer than that. But there was like, there was some really beautiful Cuban women. I remember.
That's tremendous.
And then
you don't remember nothing. First you're being that dude in Godfather 2. You don't know nothing. Now you remember Cuban women. First for 2 hours you don't know nothing.
Well, I was just dancing. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus fucking
Christ.
It was
culture. It was culture. It was Cuban culture. It was raw. It was the real thing.
I'm happy you're still alive and kicking.
Jesus.
I'm happy you're still doing your thing.
I don't know how
long evolution for this. You used to have a trampoline in your backyard in Boulder.
It's the truth. It's amazing nobody died. It's absolutely
these
amazing.
Motherfuckers, these people think, it's taken me a while to write the first 3 chapters of these intros. But I gotta tell you something. I sit there and I exercise my mind and I outline them. Like today I wrote like 3 paragraphs in like 2 minutes because I outlined it. I knew exactly what I had to write. It's a lot easier. I'm not writing a lot, but I'm writing. And in the words of fucking Shakespeare, little commitments become big commitments. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know Shakespeare spoke like that.
Me neither. I'm just fucking saying if he did, a man of Shakespeare's fucking stature would speak that way. You follow me, cocksucker? What do you got planned this weekend? I'm going to Tempe.
That sounds fucking
what
fun.
What the fuck are you doing this weekend? What plans are you involved in this weekend? Is there a a dog hugging convention
That sounds
in
fun.
Hermosa Beach? Is there a
It's
coupon class for crepes? Surprise me. You haven't blown my doors off in 2017. You
know,
mean to tell me you've been staying in, eating fucking chicken and vegetables every night for the last 4 weeks? Is that what you've been trying to tell me?
I haven't been staying in at all. I haven't had I went like the first 2 weeks of the year without having a day off. So I don't have any plans for this weekend yet. I kind of have adopted your style of just doing that day. So I honestly have no idea.
No pug hugging festivals.
No
nothing?
pug hugging festivals.
Come back all itchy with a rash and shit. This is the first trip you went on. You didn't come back with a rash or red eye or skunk fucking ear.
I don't know what it is in my goddamn family tree that makes my skin so terrible.
I'm excited about going to Tempe. I haven't been in about 18 months. You know, I've been going to Tempe since I first fucking got here.
They love you in Tempe.
You could just go to Tempe for so long before you go. You know what? He's going to come again. I said, you know, I don't want to go to Tempe for a long fucking time. I used to go down there for a long time, then I stopped going down there. And then fucking Danny Murr fucking died, and then nobody went. Then they tried to ship me off to Phoenix. And then they reopened Tempe. It's another Tempe. I was there when I was telling Lee about the dude, Greasy Tony, that he had a restaurant there across the street from the Improv, next to a gas station and a bar. I've been going there since fucking 98 down there. First time I went to Tempe, Arizona was in 84 to hook up with a friend of mine, and we ended up smoking mushrooms. It was fucking tremendously. And with some Indians, it was like something out of a fucking movie, Lee. I left there like going, this life is going to be a wild fucking ride. I went back to Tempe 14 years later. It was a complete different fucking city, Lee. It had grown, that whole area had grown leaps and fucking bounds from the first time I went down there.
I think that's one of the weirdest parts about getting older. Is just coming back like 10 years later and having memories somewhere.
But that was the first city where I first noticed it, that I flew into to do comedy, like, and I don't know. It was like I knew I'd been there before. I'd been there twice before to Tempe. I landed twice in Phoenix, and then went on to Tempe both times. But I remember like the whole thing, how much it had blown up, you know. So yeah, I've been going at it. But the Greasy Tony was down there. He was a dude from Jersey who had this little hut. He was short. He was stumpy. He was dirty. He had a fucked up haircut. Greasy Tony had all the fucked up makings of just a little Barnegat. He just looked like somebody, and he was. He was somebody from middle New Jersey, you know. He had no class. He was worse than I was. I mean, he was just nuts. But he had this restaurant, and he served great fucking sandwiches. I mean, Gabriel used to go there, Martine Moreno, Rogan, myself, Chris McGuire. I mean, Ari, Duncan. We would go to the Tempe Improv and drive just to go to Greasy Tony's first before the stuff. Keep tapping on the fucking table. We would go to Greasy Tony. We would drive down there and go to Greasy Tony's just to get like a fucking sandwich. He had pizzas, but I was telling Lee he made his own Mountain Dew. One day, one of our friends drank a Mountain Dew and said, I don't know what happened last night, but I didn't sleep for like a day and a half. And he goes, I fucking narrowed it down to Greasy Tony, and I asked him about his Mountain Dew, and he told me that that's why he didn't put it in the gun, because he would mix his own, like it was in a bucket. Like if you asked him for
Do
Mountain
you have like a ladle, or do you just dip the cup in?
He's spiked it.
If you knew Greasy Tony, he dipped his hand in there, picked it up, put ice cubes in it, let the juice peel over and go over his disgusting fingers, and then he'd give it to you if you knew Greasy Tony.
Oh,
Oh my god.
He had fucking Mountain Dew in a tub that he made himself because that's what kept him awake. He was addicted to Mountain Dew. So he would take the juice from the Mountain Dew gun and just mix it like I don't know the exact measurements, I'm just saying. He would take that thick syrup, and let's say you were supposed to mix an ounce of syrup with 6 ounces of water. Let's just say
It's going to be a lot less than
he
that, I
would
think.
mix it with like 3 ounces of water, and it would be like a stew. The ice cubes, it was like egg drop soup, like good egg drop soup, but you had to put like ice cubes in it to tame it down, and that's when it thins up a little bit. When you put ice cubes into egg drop soup, that's the way it was with his Mountain Dew. Just, it was colder than fuck. He put a ton of ice in it. You didn't even know what the fuck you were drinking. It burned your throat.
And colder.
It burned your throat. It's like if you know anything about Coca-Cola, those little bottles, they burn your throat because they have more oxygen in those. For years, Coca-Cola used to make an 8-ounce bottle or a 10-ounce bottle, and the reason why people drank them, people would say, oh my God, whenever you drink the 10-ounce Cokes, they would burn your throat. It's a different Coca-Cola. No, it's the same Coke. They would just either take the oxygen out or put more oxygen in. I forget what's the thing. If somebody will know, and they'll tweet at me what the formula was. A lot of people don't know about that, see? So you could do the same shit with Mountain Dew. He would make his own fucking Mountain Dew, Mountain Crank. You were up for fucking days. I did a triple run one time, and I had to drive from Idaho to Boulder, Colorado. I'll never forget this. Wow. I got off stage at fucking 10:30, and I know for a fact it was like 12 hours from Boise, Idaho to Boulder. It was the night of the Final Four or something like that. And somebody was in the finals, UCLA, the Twins, something. And I was trying to not stay and watch the game. I said, let me watch it for 10 minutes. I ended up leaving at 10:40. And I had to be in Boulder by 2 fucking o'clock. No sleep, no nothing. It was going to be a 12-hour fucking ride. So if I'm leaving at 10:30, I'm going to get there at 10:30 in the morning. I'm going to have 3 hours of sleep, a shower, and get myself together. It was to pick up my daughter on Sundays. I got in that fucking car, and I started guzzling Mountain Dew and not Midol. Midol is when you have your period.
No-dos.
No-dos. Dog, I started eating those fucking
That's pure
no-dos.
caffeine, man.
Jesus Christ, that's so bad for you.
That
was it. I never messed with no-dos again after that trip.
That's the most dangerous thing you've ever done.
For 12 hours, I would only stop for gasoline. I got all the way to Boulder. I got a message saying that she wasn't dropping the kid off that day. She was sick. I drove all fucking night. I'll never forget. I pulled over in one of those Idaho towns, and I parked on the side of the road, and I tried to sleep, and I took like a 6-minute nap, and I woke up to me stepping on the gas with the lights on. So when I opened up, I thought I was going off a cliff.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Oh
you
my
don't know how
God,
much your
Joey.
fucking heart beats until you wake up high. I wasn't high. I was high on those fucking no-doses and Mountain Dew. What a fucking life, man.
What do you think, Mike, when you look at Joey now?
The miracle continues. I mean, look, it's these. What did I eat? The Black Death and shit. Yeah. So it's this long journey, right? And it's got so much edge, towards the dark side, and then there's all this other stuff. But we just had this love, man. It's like, fuck it, man. What a strange trip. And
What a really strange trip.
strange fucking trip.
1990. It's 2007 fucking teen.
But right now, but here's what I think. We're both doing the right thing when it comes to
Living. No.
Yeah.
We were living like animals for a long time. There's no way you could live like that and
family,
even move ahead.
serious family thing.
So we stuck together. We're partners in crime. It was fucking tons of fun. Would I do it again? Fuck yeah. We never ended up in prison. We always had, the other day you reminded me of a story. You had the Spanish drug dealer. He had a Spanish drug dealer. And he would make me call him up and talk to him in Spanish. Mike would call me and come down here. And all of a sudden I'd come down and go talk to this guy. Ask me what he's saying. And the guy would say, I'll meet him on the corner of Wilshire. So we'd have to take a ride to Wilshire, and he'd make the delivery. And then me and Mike were behind El Compadre one night. And I met my most famous fucking drug dealer of all time. Nobody impressed me more than this guy. We looked at each other, and we both knew we were the same souls of the same bird. He was a Mexican dude. We made eye contact. And he came right up to me, Lee, and this guy was a weird guy. He would say, "¿Cómo está?" And he would hug you. He only spoke Spanish. And he'd put a Coke rock in your nose. And then he'd look you straight in the eye, and he goes, "How much do you want?" And you would say, "Give me 20, give me 40, give me 50, give me 100. And he just put a rock in your hand. Like he knew exactly from the size of the rock. So I met him behind El Compadre. I got like a 40 from him. He gave me like a 60 since I was a new customer. You know what I'm saying? He hooked me up.
And this is just how much it's worth, right?
This what?
It's a $40 bag, a $60 bag.
It's a $40 bag. He gave me like, for 40, he should have gave me like 0.8 of a gram. I gave him 40, and he gave me a gram and a tenth. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. It was clean Coke, the whole fucking deal. So at that time, there was him, there was the Armenian, there was a couple drug dealers at the fucking, at El Compadre, right? So every night was different competition. There was the dude who played the guitar. He's dead now, God rest his soul.
Was he creepy?
Well, no, he wasn't creepy at all. He was fucking tremendous. And so every night when you went in there, you knew you were going to get something. You just didn't know from who. It was always an adventure. If you caught the Armenian, it was good, in a good night, and you could talk to him, he'd give you the good shit. If you caught the guitar player, he'd give you the good shit. And if you caught the, who else was I talking about? There was somebody else that's...
You lost me.
Oh my
You have the guy who...
This is in L.A., right?
with D.
Huh?
I don't know if I can say his name or not.
No. He didn't hang out there. The black dude?
Yeah.
No. He didn't hang out there. We had him always on the sidelines.
Oh, okay.
He was always on the sidelines. He was the Martel Cartel. Look at Mike. He remembers now. It's coming back to him and shit. Look, I don't know nothing about knowledge. He knows what I'm talking about. He sat out there outside the synagogue many fucking nights with Uncle Joey, thinking about his life and shit. What were we saying, Lee, before? Oh, so I meet this dude.
This is true.
He puts the fucking Coke rock in my hand. I go home. I don't see the guy for a few months, right? But a few months later, I get off the 101. I get off the 101 on Sunset. But no, I get off the Sun. You know when you're coming north on 101,
Okay.
you hit Santa Monica Melrose exit.
Right.
And in those days, I would always anticipate traffic because I had a spot at the store. So I would exit on there and make a left and head towards the beach. And I would stay on Melrose for maybe until I hit Vine. Then I cut up type shit. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I cut up to like one of those main streets, Fountain, and I go straight to the Comedy Store. I cut up on one of those streets. It's got to be 12:30 at night. Now, when you get to Western and Sunset, there's a McDonald's, not a McDonald's, there's like a Subway sandwich. There used to be a Sprint stores there. There's a big lumber yard there, right there on Sunset. And across the street is that store I told you. It's a lumber yard type place, and there's Mexicans on the way out there. But in there, they sell the best tacos in L.A. All his clients are Mexican, so they got to sell the Mex food. You understand me? So, getting back to that story, I'm on that street on Sunset and fucking Western. I'm minding my own business. It's 12:45. I got some money in my pocket. I'm not lying to you. I'm headed to El Compadre. I'm gonna go to the store and pick up a package. You know me. I got money in my pocket. It's burning a hole in my pocket. Do you know I'm sitting there minding my own business, looking out the window to see when the light's going to turn green and red? And who do I see running at me but that fucking drug dealer from behind El Compadre that night, like a wild man going, hey, remember me? He was like hiding behind a car, saw me and remembered me. And he ran up to the car, breathing heavy. Hey, pull over. Te tengo que decir algo. I gotta talk to you and all this shit. I go, what's up, dog? And all of a sudden he put a Coke rock in my nose, and I remembered who he was. I'm like, look who the fuck it is. And he was scared. He had good blow. I go, yeah. And I gave him like $60, and they gave me like a fucking gram and a half. And that was it. That was a custom. I go, when are you here? And he would tell me, listen, whenever you want Coke, you don't even need to call me. Just come down here. Drive around for 2 or 3 minutes. I'll come running to your car. Do you know that I did it like fucking 10 times, Lee? All you had to do was drive to Sunset, make a right on Western, go down, make a right again. By the time you hit Sunset the second time, you'd hear, hey.
It sounds like the Man on Fire instructions, like to find.
He was always like in a tree, always under a car. This was fucking great. You cannot write this shit. You understand me? This is what keeps me up at night. And I go, I don't understand. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, I'm lucky I'm here. No. You just think about how many things could have gone wrong. There could have been a cop 3 blocks away at a light and sees a guy dropping something off in my car. Right now, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd be just getting out of jail. I'd be getting out of a fucking halfway house. Do you understand me? How many things could have gone wrong in those days? That's why I'm so fucking lucky.
I didn't do nothing.
No, you didn't fucking do nothing. Jesus Christ almighty. If it ain't one thing, it's another.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? I'm going to fucking Tempe. Least I ask him to sit at home. He's going to fucking develop his business. He's taking over the world. Trump's going to become president, but Lee Sayat is going to fucking take over Trump's position in the podcast world. Trust me when I'm telling you this shit, people.
That's fabulous.
Thank you very much. I'm trying.
Are you going to the inauguration march or any of the events, Lee?
For Trump? No, I'm busy that weekend. No, it's I'll watch some of it probably.
Are you going to any of the demonstration marches or anything like that?
No, I don't go to.
You're not going to downtown LA on Saturday?
I would rather jump off a bridge than go to any demonstration rally.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That sounds terrible. I mean, it doesn't.
No, it sounds sensible.
I mean, it's a very interesting time. I don't know what to think. There's a lot of people in my life who are very scared.
Yeah, really, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of people in my life. Ooh, Jesus Christ! There's a lot of people in my life who are very scared right now.
Scared about Trump?
Yeah, and it's not the people you think because I'm. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's my family. My family.
Let me ask you a question. You're an intelligent kid. You watched a lot of fucking TV and whatever. What are the fears?
You know what?
What are the fucking fears of the American?
I don't even want to say them because.
Because you're afraid?
No. Because it's even to me it was ridiculous. Like it seemed a little bit ridiculous because just.
Yeah,
there are people out there who are worried that he will not allow other people not allow an election. Like he'll start not allowing people into the country. Like he'll do. So I don't want to speak out of turn. So and I don't necessarily think I'm hoping that just one person doesn't have that much power. So that's what I'm kind of banking on. But a lot of people are scared that he's gonna take the all medical insurance away from millions of people. A lot of people are worried about the marijuana industry. They're just gonna have a lot more conservative values on a lot of the parts of our life.
All right.
So I don't know. I guess it's probably what the people in the South didn't like when this was happening, when Obama happened. I'm sure it's the same feeling. To be honest with you,
it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think so.
Friday and Saturday and Sunday across the country, there's going to be rallies.
I'm hoping he's good.
A lot of women.
I'm rooting for him.
It's going to be spooky. This is spooky time. Yeah, get ready, kids. fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a rough ride. You know, it depends what happens.
Oh, now you got a fucking crystal ball, cocksucker.
Yeah,
Before you don't know nothing, you want to plead the fifth.
I'm telling
Now you want to tell these cocksuckers
No.
they're in for a spooky time. Huh, spooky?
No. Hey, listen, remember the 60s? People used to do this, right? And it was like, hey, it was fun when I was like 18. Yeah, fuck, let's go demonstrate. But now this is like serious, and people do need to do it. It's great, but it's real. It's real. Yeah, if you can go do that.
And the thing I was thinking about today, to be honest with you, is there are people who, like, the same people who are scared about Trump don't necessarily like Bernie. They were very much Hillary Clinton. So, but it seems like to me that if Bernie is around and up for it, that he would probably have a landslide. Like, it would be probably a huge battle between him and Trump. I'm not gonna say a landslide victory, but I'll say a huge battle. Because he people feel like he got robbed of a chance.
I was robbed.
So I think if in 4 years he's still up for it, either him or Biden would have it would be a better battle than the last one.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, he's there, and
It don't matter. Listen,
don't matter.
when we go to the supermarket, we're
that's
there
the
by
thing.
ourselves.
That's the thing.
There's no president there. There's no state agency
America's
cutting you a fucking check.
America's a very strong thing.
That's
You know, people have their fears. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck everything else. That's why
Really?
bidets are back, bitches. You understand me?
Just
That's the best thing about this whole situation, that bidets are back. They've made a strong comeback. If it wasn't for HelloTushy.com, you'd still be wiping your ass, getting blisters, and scratching your hemorrhoids with that cheap fucking dollar store paper. But thank God for HelloTushy.com, who put a new revolutionary, what's it called? Lee, help me here. What's it called when you can snap it on?
It's portable.
It's portable
Bidet.
bidet with hot water and cold water.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have just a cold water one, but it takes literally 15 minutes to install, and you don't have to have any sort of special tools or anything crazy. It's really easy. It's like I think I had a wrench, and I probably could have done it with my
My
hands.
wife installed it. That's
Yeah.
why I don't talk about this shit. I just listen. I just take a dump and I sit on it, and I put the water on. I gotta tell you, it's a different dimension.
Oh yeah.
I got a lot of you people. I did a 90-day test on my muffler, and things have changed down there. You understand me? Listen, Valentine's Day is around the corner. Everybody wants a clean asshole. Here's your chance to give somebody a Valentine's Day card and tell them at the same time their asshole smells like a goat without them knowing it. You know what I'm saying? You can tell her, I love you, and your asshole smells like 10
God.
dead fucking apes at the same time. Go to HelloTushy.com right now. There's a 60-day guarantee on these things. But let me tell you something. If I sat on it for 90 days, you with your little bony ass, you'll do great with it. You follow me? Go to HelloTushy.com right now and press in.
Church.
CHURCH and get 10% off. You understand me? This is the way. Listen, you can't walk around with that swamp ass all day.
No, you can't.
That's how you get bacteria. It goes to the back of your scrotum. If you're a woman, when you fart, it backfires and it goes into your monkey. You can't have that. So that's why you got to have a portable bidet. It keeps away the hemorrhoids. It takes away the swamp ass. You'll be tip-toop, magoop, ready to go. You understand me? Like Catwoman. You can just go in your little secret bathroom.
This isn't funny.
No, it's not funny, so stop fucking laughing here.
Oh, God.
These people are fucking tremendous people with tremendous product, and I want America and the world to understand that Hello Tushy does fucking work, and they're tremendous, man.
Thank you.
I wouldn't fucking be here talking about them if they wouldn't. Go to HelloTushy.com right now and press in
Church.
CHURCH and get 10% off your order. Also, it's a new year. You're still eating those fucked up vitamins. You're still lying to yourself. Go to Honor.com right now and press in.
Church.
Boom! And get 10% off your order delivered right to your motherfucking door. From Alpha Brain to Shroom Tech to Shroom Tech Sport to what else? Cocksucker, help me here.
To Alpha Brain, to Shroom Tech, to Shroom,
Listen to this
Shroom Tech
stuttering,
Immune.
mumbling.
to Immune, to
The milkshake with the fucking hemp protein.
Hemp Force.
Listen, go to Honor.com and take a great look at all the
Sure.
new. They even have like a Alpha Brain travel thing that you take. I forget what they called. I'm sorry, we ate too many stars tonight. Pardon me and my fucking mumbling, bumbling little goombob death over there.
Strong bone.
Killing me to death. Strong bone. Go to honor.com right now. Start your New Year resolution and stick it out. I can't help you with the steel bars or the kettlebells, but I'll get you 10% off on the supplements. Go to Honor right now and press in.
Church.
CHURCH and get 10% off your first order. See you motherfuckers next week. Stay black. I love you and don't forget about me.
Mother, did it need to be so high?